And then, like over 150 countries before it, New Zealand's recognition of Palestinian statehood now would serve as little more than an existential act of defiance against an unalterable state of affairs. We are not ready to make that gesture. Rather, the New Zealand government believes that it has one opportunity to recognise Palestine.
I did kind of hope he was going to go into an Eminem bar there. Just one shot. When you've only got one shot, that's what I was hoping.
Palestinian statehood, and it would make better sense to do so when conditions offer greater prospects for peace and negotiation than at present. With a war raging, Hamas still in place, and no clarity on next steps, we do not think that time is now.
So there you go, Deb. It's pretty cut and dry what they're saying and what they want to put out there. So you can just response. The response is yours. You can have the talking stick for whatever you want.
Oh yeah, cool. Thank you. I mean, first of all, he said it in his very first, 10, 15 seconds, the gesture. This was always going to be about the gesture. And, what we have is the government has, and it's completely seen this as a gesture, having a state as some sort of dry diplomatic act. And it's actually deeply symbolic. It's deeply part of acknowledging a state which includes humanity, dignity, the right for a people to exist on equal footing with everyone else. And I think this government, and we're not surprised, but hugely disappointed and grossly embarrassed by the fact that, he separates state recognition, and this whole action does, this whole gesture does, from human recognition. And I think that's what we all wanted. For Māori, and other Indigenous people, this just hugely resonates, because the recognition of tino rangatiratanga isn't just about borders, geographics. It's actually about affirming mana and affirming the existence and the humanity of a people. And colonization has taught us that when you deny sovereignty, it's actually to deny humanity. And that's what we all witnessed. And I think if anyone else wants to say it any different, is that we have a government that when a people is at its absolute lowest and the most desperate humans can ever be, in an international community, this twat of a minister and an absolute gross idiots of a government have decided that self-determination, the recognition of these humans of Palestine as humans, don't exist. That's what we all witnessed.
A little side note about the word twat. Obviously, we would agree with you, but coming from a politician, I'm interested as well, because, in fact, I'm sorry, I'm going to throw you under the bus a little bit, Deb. I was texting with Deb on Sunday, and she said, "Oh, hopefully I'll have got over all my swearing by then." And I texted back, "No, you can come and swear on our show. That's fine."
It's the internet. You're allowed to swear.
You and Marama at the last election at the leaders' debate were kind of treating Winston quite nice. Mātua, high-fiving each other. It was. I'm not saying it wasn't combative because you were trying to win, but it was friendly. Do you feel at all different around him now because of this, or is it just that's Winston being Winston?
I mean, first of all, when you're we were being smart, to be honest. Just even calling him Mātua was not done in a respectful way. It was done in he's a kaumātua. And I think it was more about recognizing the fact that, as women, we were having this mātua in the room. So, yeah, I don't know if it was respectful. I certainly wasn't feeling it towards him based on some of their policy kōrero. But I think the question of do I see him the same as what we saw beforehand? I see anyone that has used their sphere of influence to show and continuously show this immoral consistency or moral consistency. I absolutely see them low, about as low as I see Shane Jones trying to mine our seabed. And I think, that's, I can't unsee that. I can't unhear what went down in front of the world. You know, everyone else gets out when the Israel Prime Minister, whose name I refuse to say, stands up. And I was just sitting there like this, like, I'm up next. I'm up. His whole language, the tone of his language is like he's sitting at the races. You know, like there's just I mean, I felt like I was watching the what's that dude, the emperor with no clothes on, and he's just trying to, you know, overstate his comment, overstate his presence, overstate. I'm just like, Matua, you're in front of the whole world, and you just took the moral level, the moral compass of Aotearoa down the lowest we could ever be. You are a country made up of your own Indigenous people in tangata whenua. We are a nation that has shown, a very young nation, what it was like to have colonization, to actually have our own people not recognized, to actually have people saying, you know, we will snuff them out and all these sorts of things. It's just like, and here you are refusing to acknowledge those lessons when applying them to somebody else. So I think there's dignity in international law that we just dropped. The bar just dropped.